What have you seen with the reception here in Miami? What have you seen in terms of demand? Do you feel like Formula One is popular in Miami based on what you've seen so far?
I mean, amazing. That's the only word I can say because, I mean, in just a couple of weeks after the announcement, we sold out all the tickets. And the excitement and the pump up of the event here in Miami is really incredible. I was talking with, with a lot of people that lives here and said, listen, you couldn't believe it. But, they're talking more on Formula One than the Super Bowl that was organized here in Miami. And that's something that, being in US and hearing that is a great responsibility for us. I mean, the vibes is there. I mean, there's so many events around in the city, all around. I'm talking about Formula One with all the partners, all the sponsors, all the actors, all the musicians, all DJs. Everyone wants to be here. I would say the most incredible thing that I heard from very important people is that now Formula One is the place to be. Great stuff.
And in terms of the metrics that you look at, whether it's ticket prices or ticket resale prices or seats sold, what do those look like relative to, let's say, Austin?
Well, of course, it's a different population, it's a different cut, different cluster. Here, I would say what we can see, the demand in terms of that respect is higher. And you can see that the tickets are sold out with a higher level of pricing. And that's the community of Miami. And I know that this is typical from this area, not only for the sport, but also the cost of a square feet of a house. I know that is quite interesting here. So that's the economy. I think that's the way that we need to be in different places. And that's also the role of the promoter then, to understand what is the best position that we can have together, consider the situation.
And a lot of that's because of the growth in popularity in Formula One over the past couple of years, mostly because of you.
You're too kind of.
But talk to me about how much growth you think is left for the future. I mean, we've seen this big surge. We now have 3 races. I don't know if you could do another race, but do you see more growth ahead for the U.S. and do you have any number targets or dollar targets?
Well, I would say if we just do a step back, 2 years ago, before pandemic, we were having some difficulty to have one race in Austin. In 2 years, this market is booming up. We will have 3 events next year. As you know, we're going to be in Miami for the first time here. And the popularity of our sport has grown tremendously. So we are just at the beginning of this new journey. And of course, we cannot have more than the race that we're going to have next year because we need to be balanced. We are a world championship. But I think that what will be interesting is to stay tuned with the American fans. It's different. It requires us a lot of attention, a lot of cuts, and be sure that our narratives hit, the taste of the American fans. And this is something that we all together with the teams, together with the drivers, and making sure that we stay connected with them will be the key of the success for the future.
And a lot of people attribute a large part of the success to Netflix. Do you worry that you're too dependent on Drive to Survive? And do you worry that they may have too much leverage now since Netflix could say, look, if it weren't for us, you wouldn't be here?
No, I don't think so. I think it's correct to say that Netflix helped a lot. They did an incredible job. We did an incredible job together, because that's something that you cannot do alone, but for sure the vision and once again, being sure that we could add different contents with different languages to be able to open up, the interest of our fans was the key of that success. And as always, if we're doing the good choices for the future, I think that together we may have also some other things that we can do together to improve our accessibility in the American market.
Could they be a potential buyer of the race rights, of the TV rights, or the broadcasting rights?
Well, as you know, first of all, we need to be respectful from the fact that ESPN did a great job for us to promote the business in that landscape. It's not a secret that this deal is expiring at the end of this year. And the great opportunity we have is to make sure that the future offer that we are discussing with the partners that are interested to be in that dimension is well positioned in terms of content, in terms of opportunity for the fans to follow, and of course in terms of fees. That's part of the good moment that we need we are living, And of course, as I said, we are very respectful for what ESPN has done so far for us. So let's see in the future.
And I know you don't like to talk publicly about numbers. It's been reported that ESPN is paying about $5 million a year now. There's some numbers floating around that maybe Formula One could ask for 75 or something closer to what soccer, what football gets in the U.S. Do you think that's a realistic possibility to get in that range of what soccer gets in the U.S.?
Well, of course, as you know, Robert, I couldn't disclose any number, but of course, the position of today of the platform that we have is it's important, and the value is given by the market, and I think that the numbers that you're saying, it's for sure a figure on which we want to build up. So the future is very interesting for us.